Say goodbye to your credit card rewards. Greedy corporate mega stores, led by Walmart and Target, are pushing for a law in Congress to take away your hard-earned cash back and travel points to line their pockets. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill would enact harmful credit card routing mandates that would end credit card rewards as we know it. If you love your credit card rewards, tell your lawmakers, hands off my rewards. Tell them to oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill.
Hey, Coven. Before we get started today, we have a big ol' announcement to make.
Mark your calendars for July 12th through 14th, 2024, because we are headed to the True Crime and Paranormal Podcast Festival in Denver, Colorado, and you won't want to miss it.
You really won't. This is going to be our first time at the festival, and we have only heard great things, so we are super amped to be there this year. If you've attended before, they've made some really cool additions, including a podcaster education track. And this is tailored for both seasoned creators and folks dreaming of launching their own podcast. And I know that there are some of you out there.
Oh, yeah. So, picture it. Hands-on sessions, insights from industry experts, a chance to level up your podcasting game.
Yeah, plus all the true crime and paranormal that your little heart desires. And this weekend isn't just about podcasts. It's about advocacy, ethics, and building a community.
This is the first and only festival that focuses on ethics and advocacy in the true crime and paranormal content creation space, and we're honored to be a part of it.
This festival is also women and BIPOC founded. One of the founders is Lainey Hobbs, who's a friend of ours. She is a true crime and paranormal content creator, if you've never heard of her before. And it is her mission to help change the landscape of true crime and paranormal content.
And supporting families, the Family Fund is dispersed evenly to family advocates to aid in their travel costs, and people can select that option at checkout too to help support these families.
And if you're worried about costs, don't. This festival is designed with you in mind. It's an affordable experience without sacrificing the quality. There are no inflated costs. It's just a weekend packed with authenticity, education, and networking. So if you've ever wished for genuine one-on-one interactions with your favorite creators, well, now is your chance. And you can save 15% off your ticket price by using our code COVEN at checkout.
And we hope to see you there and let them know we sent you.
See you in Denver.
Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime.
Oh my God.
The podcast where two friends get intoxicated,
choke to death,
chug wine, and chat true crime, and unleash our worst Minnesotan accents.
That was the best version of our intro I've ever. You are...
Holy shit. It's been a week so far.
It's Monday. Just kidding. It's Thursday.
I'm Lucy.
I'm Amanda.
And today we've got a very special treat for you because not only is this a fucking gal's pick.
Yeah, a hog girl gal's pick.
Because we really needed a break from the tragedy of the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So today we are bringing you Beyond Stupid. What was it called? Robberies Gone Wrong.
Gone Wrong. Y'all are not ready for my games.
I'm so excited.
I was making a spectacle of myself at the coffee shop earlier because I could not stop laughing. So I'm very excited about this.
I love it when that happens.
Me
when you're
too.
in public and you just are so delighted with yourself.
Yes. I delight myself all the time.
It's easy to do.
It is. It is.
I am easily delighted.
You
easily.
are.
Yeah. I love to laugh.
You are easily delighted. I'm okay. This is not a diss. This is a compliment. I want to just preface. I want to preface what I'm about to say with that.
Okay.
One of the reasons you are my best friend is because you're so easy to delight. You're like such a great audience.
I really am.
You are shoveling wood into the wood fire stove that is my ego every time we're together. Yes, honey. Oh my God, you're so funny.
Well, it comes easily.
It does. Thank you.
Who was the guy who dated Alanis Morissette? Dave Coulier.
Ugh, yes.
But he was Uncle Joey in Full House.
Would you go down on Uncle Joey in a theater?
Ish. No. But my friend Megan Blegan and I, as kind of a joke, bought tickets to go see him at the Funny Bone in West Des Moines. And I love to laugh. So I was maybe the only one laughing, and he kind of like singled me out.
Dave Coulier did a stand-up set
Yes.
at the Funny Bone West Des Moines.
Yes, ma'am.
Recently-ish, like within the last 5 years.
No, it was
COVID?
It was definitely before COVID.
Okay, so like 20 teens.
It was probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, so that's like 2014.
Yeah, whatever it is. It was a while ago, but
Oh my God.
that's not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is I was laughing too much at the Dave Coulier Funny Bone show in West Des Moines 10 years ago.
I was removed from the premises.
I like to laugh.
I was removed from the premises while screaming, I like to laugh, and kicking as they dragged me out.
I wasn't done with my boneless wings.
Love that you got boneless wings at Funny Bone.
And spin dip.
You remember exactly what you ordered.
It was a fun night. We had a good time.
Holy shit. Anyway, that's fucking incredible. What? No. But this, Robberies Gone Wrong. I'm so excited about this.
I am too. Got some good notes and a couple shallow dives for us.
Yep.
What do I do now? Amanda, what's our wine crime pairing?
So our pairing today, I went on a search because the whole time I was reviewing and writing my notes, I was like, this is the most bungled fucking shit I've ever read in my life. And so I went out in search of a bungled or bungling and found from a winery called Friendly Noise in Southern California. San Diego? That's in Southern California, right? San Diego?
Yeah.
I get San Diego and San Francisco's locations mixed up sometimes.
Oh, yeah. San Francisco was the top
The
one.
north. Got it. Okay. So Friendly Noise Incredible Bungling White Blend. And the label's
God.
really funny. It's just like this dude falling all the fuck over himself.
I'm clicking the link so I can see it.
It's quite cute.
That's adorable.
This is a 2022 white blend from, as I said, Friendly Noise in San Diego County. These grapes were grown in California, but they're not Californian grapes.
What?
And I hadn't encountered, as far as I know, or I guess looked deeper into one of the varietals in this blend. So I'm just going to review them both real quick. This is a 50-50 medium-bodied white blend of Picpoul Blanc and Torrontés grapes.
Wow.
The Picpoul grape is a wine grape variety, like a green white wine grape variety from Southwest France. It was traditionally the grape variety in French cognac and Armagnac, which I don't know what the difference is, but like we know what cognac is. I mean, it's like a sweet liqueur.
Yeah.
Like an aged liqueur. And they used this varietal in cognac until the 20th century, which I thought was kind of cool.
So cognac used to be like way lighter because it's made with like a green grape. White grape?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was, but I'm not sure what the process was before cognac evolved into what it is now, which is a much stronger, sipping liqueur. But it at least included this fermented varietal of Picpoul. So I thought that was kind of cool.
It is.
And the name is derivative of, it also goes by folle or folie blanche. How would you pronounce Folle in French?
Folle.
Folle blanche. It's the feminine derivative of the French word fou, which means mad. And people speculate, like ampelographers speculate that this could be
What is an ampelographer?
people who study
Ampers.
I don't know. Speculate that this could be a reference to the grapevine's tendency to be highly productive and grow vigorously wherever it's planted. So it just like goes mad.
Goes crazy.
It goes crazy. This is a highly acidic white varietal versus the Torrontés, which is the other half of this, which is also a white grape varietal, mostly produced and known in Argentina. So this French grape and this Argentinian grape, both being grown in San Diego County, are the blend for this wine, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow.
And the Torrontés produces nice, fresh, aromatic wines with much lower, more moderate acidity, very smooth texture and mouthfeel, and like peach and apricot aromas. So it makes it a perfect complement to the Picpoul varietal, which is like kind of harsh and acidic. It balances out that acidity, adds a little bit of sweetness, and this blend just sounded incredible.
Yeah. I've
So-
learned so much. And
I
also,
know.
you can learn something because you should know what ampelography is.
It's probably wine people who study grapes.
It's the field of botany concerned with the identification and classification of grapevines.
Yeah, okay. There you go. I totally knew that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that probably like was somewhere in the higher level sommelier training, and I just never finished it.
So they use techniques similar to DNA fingerprinting to identify different vines.
Okay, that's so fucking cool.
Genetic fingerprinting for vine identification.
Dude, wine and crime is like wine
our
is
overlap.
connected to crime on an even deeper level than the fact that those words rhyme. Dude.
That's
My
the
mind
only
is
reason we picked it in the
fucking
first place.
blown. Yeah, we definitely didn't know this. Anyway, that's
Ooh.
really fucking cool.
Such exercises are giving valuable insight into historical patterns of trade and migration.
Incredible.
Wow.
That's fucking nuts. Anyway, this bottle retails for around $22. You can order it online. It is a popper, so you're going to want to grab your Wine and Crime, either XOXO, the Wine and Crime Gals, or Nice Pop wine keys from our online store at
Two varietals.
winecrimpodcast.com. Yeah. And pop it open. So shall we pop?
Let's pop.
All right. Hey, pop.
Oh.
Nice faggin' pop.
Nice pap.
So nice. All right. Well, cheers. Are you drinking anything today?
Cheers. I got a glass of wine.
Glass of wine, and we have our vapes.
We do.
We're twinning.
We're twinning.
Love
Look at us. Okay.
Well, before we dive in to your shenanigans, whatever you have in store for us, should we take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors?
I think we should.
Let's do it. Y'all, I am not a breakfast girly. I've never been a breakfast girly, and my
Me neither.
but my diabetic body is like, you need something when you wake up, girl. Stop doing this to me. And IQ Bar has really helped me tackle my like morning breakfast routine, which honestly consisted so much of me staring at my open refrigerator and trying to talk myself into something that I could like,
Making
eat.
eggs.
Yeah, making eggs or eat right away in the morning. And now I can literally just reach for an IQ bar and then like whip up a hydrating pack of IQ mix. So I've got a little beverage, a little breakfast bar, and I'm like good. It helps me with my energy. It helps me with my focus. It's so easy. And it like keeps me full for a while. I'm not, starving 20 minutes later after like slamming a yogurt and trying to drink coffee. It's truly been such a game changer, and I am inviting all of you to power up your life with superior brain and body nutrition products from IQ Bar. Their plant protein bars are the perfect low-carb grab-and-go breakfast. I love this because it's not going to spike my blood sugar right away in the morning and like ruin my whole day. And then their IQ Mix is a zero sugar hydration drink, and it helps replenish electrolytes lightning fast. They also have IQ Joe mushroom coffees that are packed with magnesium and lion's mane adaptogen to keep you focused all day long. They have over 10,000 5-star reviews and counting. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, so start each day right with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. Their ultimate sampler pack includes all 3. You get 7 IQ Bar flavors, 4 IQ Mix flavors, and 4 IQ Joe flavors. And today, our listeners get an exclusive offer of 20% off plus free shipping. Just text GALS to 64,000. So these products aren't just for people who like run marathons.
No, I mean, hi.
Yeah, hello.
Clearly.
They're incredibly convenient. IQ empowers doers with superior brain and body nutrition. Their plant protein bars are packed with high-quality ingredients to keep you physically and mentally fit. These are vegan, gluten-free, and low in sugar and carbs, and they have really delicious flavors. They've got chocolate sea salt, yum, peanut butter chip, wild blueberry, and more.
Yum. That one's my favorite. The blueberry one's my fave.
So Amanda was talking about the IQ mixes. This is a zero sugar drink mix that hydrates with electrolytes. It improves mood with magnesium and boosts clarity with lion's mane adaptogen. On top of these benefits, each flavor, again, is tasty and refreshing.
They're really good.
They're really good. Speaking of good, the IQ Joe, I'm not a coffee girl either because it always makes me feel so anxious and jittery.
Yeah.
Not this. It's an instant coffee packed with 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, brain-boosting magnesium, and productivity-enhancing lion's mane. They love the lion's mane.
Yeah,
so do
lion's
I.
mane is so cool.
It's really cool. I just love how they just took things that already existed. They're not reinventing the wheel. It's like mushroom-based and like gluten, dairy, soy, GMO-free.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And this IQ Joe also comes in 4 delicious flavors. They've got original black, vanilla spice, cafe mocha, and toasted hazelnut that tastes better than any brewed coffee.
So refuel smarter with IQ Bar's Ultimate Sampler Pack. That's 7 IQ Bars, 4 IQ Mix Sticks, and 4 IQ Joe Sticks. And now our special podcast listeners get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus get free shipping. To get your 20% off, just text GALS to 64,000. Get your discount. Text GALS to 64,000. That's GALS to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details and treat your tummy.
Trade it. Remember when you were like 5 and you played in a sandbox with your little plastic shovel and your little bucket, maybe a little water, you made little sand castles, and it was like it's objectively gross, but it was fun.
Yes.
Well, you're all grown up now, which means you have to play around in poopy dirt because it's being responsible. That is what a responsible cat owner does. And it's way less fun than building sandcastles.
It sure is.
Yeah, so I say that you should really grow all the way up. Glow up and get yourself a litter robot.
Y'all, this device has changed my life. My husband and I are obsessed with it. We recently set it all up and got the app and like named our litter box, which it has an inappropriate name, but you could probably guess. And we keep such a close eye. It gives us a little alert like every time Beans goes in there to do her business, we get a little text that's like, oh, Beans is pooping.
Aww.
It is the solution to all of your litter box problems. Never scoop litter again with Litter Robot.
So appealing.
It is a self-cleaning technology that automatically cleans after every use. So your cats will always have a fresh bed of litter to do their business. And no one's going to think your house smells like a litter box because it's so clean. And then those alerts you get, like they can test for the weight of your cat. There's like a little step before they get into the litter robot, so it won't turn or try to clean or do anything when it knows a cat is about to get in. Even if it's in the middle of a clean cycle, it just stops. It lets your cat do its business. It's so clever. It's so brilliant. Litter Robot will literally send a notification to your phone when it needs to be emptied, and then you just like pull out a drawer and grab a bag, and that's it. You toss it out. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to touch the litter. You don't have to scoop. I can't believe I went so long without this. It also gives you data and insights to stay on top of your cat's health. So if there are like weight changes that are concerning, you know, the other day, Beans used the litter box and Bill was like, oh, Beans weighs 6 pounds. And I like almost started crying. I was like, she's growing up so fast. It truly does not get any easier than this. And frankly, your cat will thank you. Beans is obsessed with this litter box. Pepperoni,
she is.
Pepperoni plays it a little closer to the chest. She like doesn't want you to know how excited she is, but she's also loving it. And you can join over 1 million happy pets and pet parents who have upgraded to Litter Robot. Seriously, what are you waiting for? This thing is a game changer.
As a special offer to listeners of the show, go to stopscooping.com/gals and enter promo code GALS to save an extra $50 on any Litter Robot bundle. That's an extra $50 off any Litter Robot bundle at stopscooping.com/gals and enter promo code GALS at checkout. One more time, stopscooping.com/gals. Enter promo code GALS and stop scooping.
Stop! Lucy,
Yes.
what is our background and maybe psych for Beyond Stupid Robberies Gone Wrong?
I got psych.
For real?
Got some psych, baby.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so psyched.
Excited.
So dumb. I'm so excited for this.
Stupid. Okay, it's going to be a lot of giggling this episode.
Ooh, we're fine.
Okay, so the most common types of robbery are armed robbery.
Okay.
So this is the type in which the perp uses a weapon to threaten or harm the victim.
It doesn't have to be a gun either. It's just any kind of weapon.
It could be a knife.
Hammer.
What's it called? A rolling pin.
Yes.
It could be anything.
A candlestick.
A wrench. It is a serious offense that carries harsher penalties than other types of robbery.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have a strong arm robbery. So this is when the perp uses force or the threat of force to take someone's property.
Okay.
It does not involve using a weapon, but may use physical force or verbal threats to intimidate the victim.
Mm-hmm.
So this is you're raw dogging it. There's no weapon.
It's
all you.
It's all you, bro.
Next, we have carjacking. So this is when the perp steals a vehicle from its driver by using force or the threat of force. And this type of robbery usually involves a weapon. So, of course, then we have our crossover.
And additional charges. Yeah, you can get charged for carjacking and then have like the armed robbery charge on top of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Then we have home invasion. This is the scariest kind.
My worst nightmare.
This is when the perp enters a person's house by force or deception to commit a crime.
Or frogs.
Ugh. Home invasions can involve theft, assault, or other criminal activities. And last, we have bank robbery. So this is where the perp attempts to take money or property from a bank. What if you robbed a bank, but you only stole their phones, their desktop computers? You technically robbed a bank.
All their chain pens.
And just the lectern that comes with it.
Dude, I would totally do that.
Bank robbery.
Didn't a guy do that who stormed the Capitol?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking A.
Oh, yeah, he fully stole it.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think so, too.
These fucking idiots.
Oh,
anyway,
God.
that would be funny, though.
I know. So a bank robbery is a federal crime and is investigated by the FBI, even if you didn't take any money.
Are not worth it, dude. Don't do it. But maybe also do it because we want to cover that.
That'd be really funny.
That's really funny.
Okay, here's our psych. So if you ask, what are some types of motivations for committing burglaries? Here are some of those. So the first one would be excitement. And this is one of the most common reasons people break into homes or businesses is just the pure adrenaline.
Okay,
the
I'm
risk
actually
factor.
shocked that that's one of the most common reasons. I would assume that like financial desperation would be over that. And that is wild because that so connects to my case today.
Just the thrill.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, well, the one time where there were people in my house when I didn't know it, they didn't take anything.
Mm-hmm. They just lurked.
They were just hiding in my basement while I took a shower.
There's fear coming from the basement.
There's my fear.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like, I don't know. That made sense to me.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just surprised it's like number 1 on this listicle.
Yeah. So the second one would be if somebody is, again, all of these could be a crossover, but this is just like the one-sided reason. We have the influence of drugs and or alcohol because those things can lead to bad decision making.
Sure.
So you could be drunk and think it's exciting to break into your neighbor's house or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what you said, money would be on this list. Some people break into or rob places because of the promise of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Money is always preferable to valuables because valuables carry an extra risk upon pawning or selling them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quicker. You're saving a step.
Yeah.
So drugs can be a reason. Sometimes people break in the hopes of finding drugs, whether this is prescribed or illicit.
Right.
Depending on the state, breaking into a pharmacy in particular can carry an extra charge of having the intent to commit a larceny of a controlled substance.
Mm-hmm.
So if the burglar is successful in actually stealing some of the pharmaceuticals, they can also face separate charges for possessing a controlled substance stolen as part of a break-in.
Serious federal charges.
So whether or not you are successful in robbing a pharmacy, you can
it's
get
not worth it.
into huge trouble just for attempting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then last, but obviously not least, we have valuables because they can be sold for money.
Mm-hmm.
Phones, watches, electrical goods, or anything of value that's not too big to like carry is always fair game.
Funny you should say not too big to carry.
Well, I remember one time Corey was at the mansion where my baby shower was.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a building like across the parking lot where my sister used to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that business had since moved out of that building, but there was still a bunch of shit in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so Corey's like standing in the parking lot and he just sees a group of like teenagers busting out of the building, carrying all sorts of stuff. And one of them had a massive TV.
Oh my God.
And he like said something and the kid like dropped the TV and they all took off.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a sight.
It was, yeah. It's like seeing a wild herd of deer like across the dark field. He's like, I think those are teenagers robbing that building.
That
Okay.
kid seems to be really struggling with that TV.
Hey, do you need help?
That would so be Corey. Hey, you need a hand?
I got a pickup.
You want take you somewhere?
Totally.
That would be so him.
He gets
He's
charged
so
with
sweet.
accessory.
He would. He'd be behind bars. You'd
Totally.
be a single mother. You'd be bringing in your baby to see him on like conjugal visits.
Every other Thursday for 40 minutes. Okay, so I read an article from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel about pawning valuables in communities affected by the opioid epidemic because people are a lot of times stealing items from their friends and family members because, you know,
Get quick cash.
to get
because they
quick
need-
cash, they've burned through all their own money, they burn through other people's money, and then it comes down to stealing items that they may or may not like notice right away. So here's a quote. Property theft is a common, often overlooked consequence of the opioid epidemic. Opioid epidemic. Jesus Christ. In some cases, thieves are turning to pawn shops to generate cash to feed their addiction. Lieutenant Kevin Rice of the Waukesha Police Department said he and other law enforcement officials regularly check a database called Noopers.
Okay.
Newpers. Noopers.
All right.
It's a national database used by pawn shops to log property. So whenever they get something, they're supposed to like plug it in.
Log it in. Okay.
Which is smart, and it makes sense. Noopers is just such an unserious name.
I know it has to come from.
It's an acronym for something.
I'm just curious what that is.
Are you Googling it?
No.
I will.
I'm not that curious.
I am. I want to be delighted.
I request to be delighted.
Noopers. There's nothing came up for Noopers. I think they made it up.
Maybe. Or maybe they were just putting a new person in the system and they just shortened it to Noopers.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, that's canon now.
I like that.
That's wine and crime canon.
So every time someone pawns something, they must sign a government document swearing that they didn't steal it.
Mm-hmm.
And lying on this form could lead to a felony charge called false swearing, which carries a 6-year maximum penalty.
Oh, dear.
Despite the number of opioid addicts in Wisconsin who pawn stolen property for drug money, prosecutors rarely issue this charge.
Mm-hmm.
Some in law enforcement are not even aware that the charge exists because it's like such a weird, it seems very like niche.
Mm-hmm.
What's more, pursuing the charge is hampered by another fact, and this was the craziest part to me. Many pawn shops are ignoring a separate little-known law. So you're pawning something.
Mm-hmm.
The person who works at the pawn shop hands you this form.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sign it swearing that you didn't steal it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pawn shop person probably countersigns it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like a valid legal document unless that person
like
is a notary.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, how does that even work? I have to get shit notarized for way, like, smaller things than that.
Yeah. So because
they just get to skip that step?
Well, they sign it, but the courts can't enforce it because probably the pawn shop person is not a notary.
Mm-hmm.
So without a notary gathering the signature, a false swearing charge can't be issued / enforced in any way. So
kind of a waste of a law.
Good job, guys.
Great work, Congress.
In 2017, just 13 people in the state were charged with false swearing, according to this Milwaukee Journal Sentinel data analysis.
Amazing.
And in 2017, the statewide number was 14.
Whoa, wait a minute. They had rapid growth in these crimes. That's a huge percentage.
What was the year before? 2016 was 14. 2017 was 13.
Oh, so it went down. Rapid decrease. Thank God for these laws. Putting people in their place.
I know. So, like, that basically just gives it free range for selling whatever the fuck you want at a pawn. I don't think that pawning lifted goods was probably that difficult in the first place. But, like, they tried to implement a measure and they made overlooked something important. But
pretty important, like making it a legally binding document. But whatever. I'm just a dumb girl.
Boys do it. How hard can it be?
Love that.
So those are like the most common types of break-ins or thefts and, the motivation, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so diving deeper into the actual psych that I have for you. So kleptomania, which I don't think we've ever really talked about before.
No, and that would make a really fascinating episode.
Totally. Mm-hmm. So kleptomania is the impulse or urge to steal, and this often begins in the teenage years. So this is where the desire to take risks is strong and also like gives the most excitement, like produces the most endorphins or whatever.
Okay, trying to slip like a little toy or a lips or like a chapstick in my pocket while we were at checkout with like my mom when I was little.
Oh my God, you're such a rascal.
Was like the thrill of a lifetime. Like cocaine's cool, but have you ever tried to slip a chapstick in your pocket at the Target checkout line with your mom right there?
Your mom?
Let's fucking go.
Because I am racked with guilt in general.
Fair.
Without stealing. I'll tell you how guilty I feel just in general. I went to Ridgedale Mall with Blam Goldberg at one point.
Yes.
And she was deep in a stealing phase.
Yes.
And we went
I remember Blam's shoplifting phase.
Yes. We went to like Wet Seal. And she asked me like what size pajamas I like wore. And I was like, I don't know, like medium, like whatever.
Uh-huh.
The next thing I know, we're leaving Wet Seal, and she showed me in her purse she had this silky pair of Playboy pajamas. They were black silky with silver, a little silver bunny head print all over them.
Yeah, she stole those for you?
She stole them for me, and my dad
She's
picked
such a
us up.
good friend. That's
Because
awesome.
I buried them in the bottom of my pajama drawer.
And you
Never
never
to
wore them?
look at them again. I felt so guilty.
And you didn't fucking give them to me, you bitch. I would have worn them and not lost a wink of sleep. I would have loved those.
They were like kind of weirdly tight, sexy Playboy pajamas. I can't wear them. I was like 14. I could wear them around my house.
Your parents are like,
What?
we're cutting off your allowance. This is not okay.
Like the thought was there, but in effect, what a waste.
I'm
and
so
I still
mad.
feel bad about it.
I'm so mad that you didn't hand those over to someone who would appreciate them and use them.
They're probably still in that drawer at my parents' house.
We
Like,
have
I
to
couldn't look at them. I couldn't even think about them. I broke out into a cold sweat. Okay, so I'm not a kleptomaniac, if you couldn't tell.
Clearly. To recap, I'm not a kleptomaniac.
To meet the diagnostic criteria for kleptomania, don't be me.
Don't be riddled with Catholic guilt.
It runs deep.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
speaking of
sewn in.
Catholicism.
No.
I saw a meme the other day that said, I grew up Catholic, and all that really means is that I like stained glass windows and weird little objects.
Oh,
weird little statues.
That's you.
Yeah.
That's
And like
really
rituals
true.
are really important to me.
yes. Mm-hmm. Some things really
Catholic.
did stick. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, to meet the diagnostic criteria for kleptomania, stealing must take place to satisfy a psychological need, not for financial gain or personal convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Teenagers often steal from Wet Seal, shops, family members, friends, etc. Nowadays, sometimes it's like just a kind of a funny thing to like teenagers. They just call it borrowing.
Yeah. Listen, I don't care about shoplifting from like
A corporation.
a big corporate. Like, please shoplift from Target, Walgreens, these fucking places that have bottomless pits of fucking money. Just don't shoplift from like a little mom and pop. That's all I care about. Go off in that Target, babe. Go off.
I've read recently that Target like prosecutes shoplifters.
But I don't know because I accidentally stole from Target like 3 years ago.
What'd you do?
I went through not even self-checkout. Like I checked out. Okay, let me back up. When I go to Target for something specific, I try to not grab a basket of any kind because that then deters me from shopping for unnecessary things, right?
That's
So it's
smart,
like
and that's something I've never done.
Yeah. So it's like I can only leave the store with what I can comfortably carry. That's the rule. So I get to check out with like the 2 things that I actually came in for. And then on my way back through the clothing department, there was a cute tank top that I liked that was in my size. So I grabbed the tank top. So I had the tank top in one hand, the items I needed in the other. I checked out with a person. I was just not paying attention. I think I like put the tank top over my shoulder to fuck with my wallet. paid.
And they didn't notice.
They handed me the bag, and I walked out past everyone with the tank top over my shoulder and got in my car, put my bag away, and went to buckle my seatbelt and was like, oh my God, I just stole this tank top. I did not.
In front of everyone.
Like, I grabbed my receipt and I was like, yeah, she did not charge me for this tank top. And then I was like, and then drove home. I wasn't going to fucking go back in and pay for it. You dumb cucks. Like, why didn't you fucking... Oh, you're so prosecutory about shoplifting. Well, I still wear that tank top that I didn't fucking pay for.
Remember last fall when we went to the Picker Nose and I walked out with that bracelet, that god-awful chunky pink, like marble bracelet?
Yes.
And we got in the car and I had it on my wrist the whole time I was like paying. And we got in the car and I was like, oh my God, I didn't pay for this. And the price on it was $1.
You went back and paid.
Back and paid for it.
Yeah.
And that whole booth that I got it from was 75% off.
No.
So
it was a quarter.
It was a quarter. And I went in and I was like, I'm so sorry I didn't pay for this. And she was like, and she said, oh, that's cute. Your total is 27 cents with tax.
Can you break a 20? Can you break $1?
Can you break $1?
Can you break a 50-cent coin?
Can you break a Sacagawea?
Holy shit. I can't fucking believe it was 25 cents.
It was on clearance. Oh, you're cute.
They should have arrested you for stealing.
I know.
They should have charged you. Should have pressed charge.
Restitution.
Oh, they tried to extort you out of a whole $1 because you felt so bad. No, keep the change. Yeah, you're goddamn right. We'll keep the change. Next time we're calling the cops.
Call your friend for bail. We're not releasing you from the back room until you can make bail.
I can so picture like the sweet, like cool Des Moines queers alongside the adorable old ladies who work at the Picker Nose, like being so indiscriminately mean to you for the 25-cent theft.
It's really fucked up what you did.
What you did.
Karma's gonna get you.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's coming for you.
Okay, so kleptomania affects approximately 1.2 million Americans and is responsible for about 5% of shoplifting cases in the U.S. So if you steal, that doesn't mean you're a literal klepto.
No.
It's actually pretty unlikely. If you're statistically, it's less likely that you're a kleptomaniac.
But that's still a lot of people who are affected by kleptomania.
1.2 million Americans.
Yeah, Winona Ryder was not alone, honey.
No, Winona Ryder didn't happen in a vacuum.
No.
Other psychiatric disorders such as depression or anxiety, or substance abuse, or brain injuries, or having another impulse disorder.
ADHD.
Can influence kleptomania symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if I hit my head really hard, maybe someday I'll start to be okay with theft, borrowing.
So wild if you got a TBI and like everything was chill except you became a kleptomania and started just shoplifting like crazy.
Like crazy. I'll steal silky pajamas for you.
I don't know if I would even notice because I would be so not looking for it, knowing you that you could
true.
Fly right under the radar.
Well, what if I went to your house and stole beans?
I'd fucking notice that.
What if I stole your vape?
Where the fuck is my vape? I would January 6th your house.
You'd steal my lectern.
I would steal your fucking lectern.
Okay, according to Discover magazine, about 6% of all robberies known to the police occur in mom and pop stores.
No, you guys.
Steal from the corpse.
Come on. Loot the corpse.
Loot the corpse. Sick. That could be taken the wrong way.
No, that's the point. I love it. Loot the corpse.
Most of the time, cash is handed over without anyone getting hurt, but there are a few exceptions.
Yeah.
Research has found that the biggest determinant of violence in a convenience store robbery is most likely the behavior of the store clerks. So these scenarios may include the robber moving the clerk closer to the cashier, increasing the chances of a misunderstanding and then panic and then violence. If the clerk is behind the cashier, they are more likely to show physical resistance, increasing the chances of the robbers turning violent or calling for backup. Because, I mean, a lot of these places, they've got like a baseball bat or a gun or something behind the counter. And there's a counter between you and them, sometimes even like a plexiglass situation. So they feel more emboldened to stick up for their business and their livelihood, which I don't blame them for at all. But that's kind of where the clashes come in. So that's scary.
Because it's really in your best interest to not die and like file a police report and an insurance claim to recover your losses. And I know that that's also, you know, some element of privilege. Like maybe not every business owner has access to that type of resource, but like it's never worth it to die.
Yeah.
For the cash that's in the till.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's a lot easier said than stuck to in the moment.
1,000%, especially if it's like your business and this business is life or death for like you and feeding and housing your family. It's an impossible choice. I totally understand why you would want to defend your livelihood.
So 2 lessons to be learned here. Robbers, loot the corpse, and small store owners, just give it up.
Just give it up. I mean, that applies to anybody in any robbery situation.
Yeah.
No thing or cash is worth your life. You're so much more valuable than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hand it over.
Okay, so I have some robbery facts for us.
Ooh, robbery facts.
Hashtag robbery facts. In 2019, 34.3% of robbery offenses occurred on streets or highways. 16.7% occurred at commercial houses. 15.8% at residences, 6.6% at convenience stores, 3% at gas or service stations, 1.4% at banks, and 22% at just miscellaneous other places.
Interesting.
So that breakdown was kind of cool.
That's pretty fascinating. I think the residences makes and like houses makes so much sense to me because security is less of an issue, like cameras, things like that. I know that's kind of changing now, but I think for a long time people would associate convenience stores and bodegas with like having that CCTV camera that's like right behind the counter. You know what I mean? And houses are just like not really like that.
Yeah.
And then having that essentially be followed by convenience stores where it's like, I just want the cash out of the till. This shit makes so much sense.
Yeah. The occurring on streets and highways at 34%, I think, I mean, I guess it's just sort of where
people get mugged.
You can bump into someone. Yeah.
Opportunity, like robberies of opportunity and convenience, I think account so much for that statistic and the like 22% at miscellaneous places statistic. Where there's no pattern. It's just whatever the motivation is behind it, whether it be desperation or some sort of psychological disorder. You're just going to take that opportunity when it arises.
Yeah, and that's really terrifying. And also probably way more difficult to solve because the person just goes around the corner to get away and it's totally random. And yeah. I've never been mugged. I hope I never am mugged because that's terrifying. If this is surprising to you, I don't know what to tell you, but 93% of robbery offenders in 2018 were men.
Yeah.
They steal. They're just, they deserve the world. They just take what they want. I'm still so mad about that Chiefs kicker guy.
Oh, God. That guy's an idiot. Don't waste your breath. Don't waste any of your life force being mad about that fucking loser.
His clarification when he said, no, I meant in the 50s and 60s when women had more babies than thoughts. What? Thanks for clearing that up.
No. You guys, what I meant was, fuck you, get your bitch ass back in the kitchen. Okay? Now do you get it?
Do you fucking get it?
Now do you get it? You're my property.
Oh my
Now
God.
do you get it?
I want to go back to the 50s. The 1850s.
No. No one wants that.
Oh, and their average age was 34.
Mm.
In 2018, the top 5 districts for robbery offenders were the Northern District of Illinois, the Southern District of Florida, the Southern District of New York, the District of Maryland, and the Eastern District of Pennsylvania.
Wow. Closer to Philadelphia, the Eastern District.
I do love Philadelphia, though.
So do I.
According to Forbes Home, on average, 3,662 burglaries happen in the U.S. every day.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A property crime takes place every 4.4 seconds in the United States, and 72% of reported burglaries happen when nobody was at home, which means 28% happened when someone was at home.
Mm-hmm.
Brings me back to the frogging. I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, to round us out, I have a few shallow dives of some especially stupid thieves.
Okay.
Robbers. Okay. In 2022, 19-year-old Tyler Wesley was arrested in Lee County, Florida, probably the Southern District of Florida, after allegedly breaking into his own house and stealing from his roommate, Monica.
Ooh.
But what did he steal?
Ooh, I don't know.
Her hookah.
Her vape! This
Kind
is
of.
why I'm so suspicious of you, you little thief.
I'm flying so far under this radar.
Yeah.
Those silk pajamas were just to throw you off.
Yeah, you're trying to
20 years ago.
Trying to make me think you wouldn't take my vape when you fucking would.
Where the fuck is my vape? The Lee County Sheriff's Office released the security camera video from inside Monica's room, so she had a camera in her room,
Atta girl.
showing Wesley attempting to cover the camera with a cloth
Oh no.
before dropping it and just running from the room.
Oh my god.
And this makes it somehow worse and more stupid. This happened at Wesley's parents' house on Nature Point Loop in rural Fort Myers.
So he broke into his roommate's room and they all live in his own parents' house.
Yes. So they
Do you really have to break in? Do you not just have keys? Just open the door. You live here.
I don't, it's so stupid. So they had invited Monica to live with them, but Wesley's mom, a woman named Amy Pacheco, claims that Monica had just stopped paying her rent after 2 months, and since then the house had been filled with tension. That's probably why she had a camera in her room. And Mother Amy believes that that is why Monica was motivated to call 911 on Wesley after seeing the footage of him in her room.
Yeah, good for her.
I don't think he even, well, I guess he did get away with the hookah, but like in a really fucking James Kennedy running away from Lala way.
Scurrying. Yeah.
Mother Amy states that she's never even seen a hookah in her house, and for all she knows, Monica could be making the whole thing up. They even accused her of stealing Wesley's dad's speaker, which had been stored in Wesley's closet. Just a lot of really stupid inter-family back and forth with this random Monica who, like, shouldn't be there.
Poor Monica.
Wesley was released on bond and faces charges of burglary and grand theft.
Grand Theft Hookah.
Grand theft hookah.
Incredible.
Okay, here's another one. In 2014, Maganga, a 17-year-old who was armed with a fake gun, ordered a Dundee woman and her child to get out of the car. So this is in Australia, I'm guessing. She obliged, and the boy was about to take off with the car, except he didn't realize that it was a manual.
Yeah, this happens.
And
if you're going to carjack, you got to make sure you know how to drive stick.
Yeah.
Because you can't always just tell by looking at it if it's got a manual or automatic transmission.
So he had no idea how to drive a manual transmission.
Oh, no.
So he tried messing around with the car for a few minutes to see if he could get the hang of it, but he could only get the car to move like a few yards.
Can you imagine these previously terrified people now just like
this woman and her child
just watching him? Like, you good, guy?
This is my favorite part. During these few minutes, he managed to turn on the windshield wipers and the lights in a desperate attempt to figure out how the car works.
No.
Eventually, he decided to leave the scene on foot, but was quickly caught by the authorities. So he's 17 years old.
This poor kid.
Maganga was charged as an adult for the robbery, and at the time of the incident, he was out on bail for allegedly robbing 2 stores, one of them with a knife.
Maganga, no.
Yeah, so the crime was caught on surveillance camera, which I'm sure was to the delight of whoever owned that CCTV camera. And he was sentenced to prison for carjacking.
Oof.
Like, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And he kind of had the book thrown at him for the stupidest crime.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not worth it.
No. Okay, here's my last one, and I think my favorite one.
Oh, God.
In June of 2013, James Blankenship decided to break into his mom's house in broad daylight. A lot of this breaking into your own parents' house.
Seriously, what a weird trend.
The two had quarreled earlier that year, and his mom had banned him from her house.
Oh, okay. So this is like a big falling out.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like several months before. So on this day, Blankenship's mother found him breaking into her house through a first-floor window, and he had not been welcome there for over 3 months, and he didn't have any of his own possessions on the premises, so he had no reason to be there.
Right.
Blankenship fled the scene when she spotted him and hid in a nearby crawl space.
Oh, God.
Once the police caught up to him, Blankenship told them that he didn't think he could be arrested for burglary because it wasn't nighttime.
What? It's like the purge. Like during the day, it doesn't apply.
He quickly realized that just because most burglaries seem to happen at night doesn't mean that they only apply at night.
Listen, I'm loving this logic. Well, you can't arrest me because it's the daytime.
It's the daytime.
You idiots. You don't know about that loophole?
So they apparently took pity on him. He was fined $100 and sentenced to 180 days in prison, with 120 of those suspended. So he got 2 months in prison and fined $100.
Wow.
It was during the day, man.
I mean, maybe his theory kind of applies then.
He did get...
If it's during the day, you get a slap on the wrist. At worst.
Yeah. So anyway, that is my background and my psych and a couple of very shallow dives.
Incredible. I love that you wet a whistle for my epic tale.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Well, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors and let's get into it.
Y'all, it has gotten to that time in the summer where, like, my bedroom is upstairs. Our house has the old converted attic bedroom like yours.
Same. It's so hot.
It gets so hot. I've, like, plugged in my air conditioner, but I still get a little toasty at night. And I am telling you, that hot bedroom nonsense has a huge impact on your sleep quality. If you wake up too hot or cold, I cannot recommend highly enough that you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long.
These sheets, they're self-cleaning.
They're amazing.
I mean, even if temperature regulation is so excellent, but
Crucial.
my big draw was the self-cleaning. They're infused, like Amanda said, with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. So there's no more gross, like, used bed odor. You know how, like, sometimes your fresh sheets don't stay that fresh for very long.
Well, yeah, between the self-cleaning element and the cooling element, you're, like, sweating more. You're not building up all this bacteria in your sheets. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, the bacteria in the sheets.
I can't.
Traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat.
You don't need to say it.
I just did.
I know.
I just did. It's awful for your skin. It can lead to acne, allergies, stuffy noses. It's nasty. So these self-cleaning sheets are excellent. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, #Women in STEM, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather, so you get better sleep every night. So you got to stop sleeping on bacteria that can clog your pores, causing breakouts. We don't want that. Sleep clean with Miracle. And also, these sheets are so soft and comfortable.
They really are.
They are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Like,
I completely agree.
You're going to sleep real good on these sheets.
Yeah, and who doesn't love, like, slipping into cool, clean bed sheets? You can do that night after night with Miracle brand. Like, what are you waiting on? So go to trymiracle.com/gals to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, but like buy them for yourself. If you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code GALS at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/gals and use the code GALS to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/gals to treat yourself. And thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you.
Y'all, things that keep me up at night, one of them is that we're eating and drinking roughly a credit card's worth of plastic a week. I know I've talked about this many times, but it blows my mind every single time. I can't handle it.
It makes me want to just move off the grid.
It does.
And never open my mouth again.
It does. And I'm a convenience girly, so I love, like, laundry detergent pods, dishwasher detergent pods. I really, really, really do love them. And those pods you're buying at the store, they are wrapped in like a dissolvable plastic. That's actually plastic. It's contaminating our water supply. It's generating hundreds of microplastics that we end up ingesting. So Blue Land set out to do something about it, eliminate the need for single-use plastic in the products we reach for the most. And honestly, I've been using Blue Land for years now, and I have not gone back.
Not even glanced back.
No, I had to use in a pinch like another brand cleaning solution because I was like waiting on a shipment from Blue Land and I hated it. I was so upset.
You're going to love Blue Land just as much as we do. Blue Land is on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic by reinventing cleaning essentials to be better for you and the planet with the same powerful clean that you're already used to. Blue Land uses no single-use plastic in any component that's from the bottles, the tablets, the wrappers, to their shipping materials. Their tablet packaging is fully compostable. Blue Land products are also effective and affordable. So, for example, their dishwasher tablets.
Yo.
Yeah.
These things are good.
They are proven to perform on baked on, burnt on stains. You don't even need a rinse aid in your dishwasher for these to just crush.
My glassware comes out like legit sparkling clean. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm like kind of weird about my dishes too. Like
You
I will rinse them completely. Like I basically wash them and then put them in the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I even if I don't have time to fully do that, these tablets there's no reason for me to do that.
No, it's just a ritual for you at this point.
know,
You
it
don't
is.
need to do it.
It's psychological.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unnecessary with Blue Land.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get even more savings by buying refills in bulk or setting up a subscription so you're never going to run out of your most used products. These are fully customizable and convenient subscriptions. I would go that route if I were you.
Oh, yeah.
Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including ours. Another product from Blue Land that I just have to plug are their little toilet tabs.
I love those.
Yeah, they're so lemony. They're fresh. You just drop one in your toilet and it fizzes up like little Alka-Seltzer and it cleans your toilet bowl.
It's the best.
Smells so good. I just
smells
love
so
it.
good.
I love their packaging. I love their scents. You've got choices of all kinds of scents for whatever you want. It's there's no downside to Blue Land.
I mean, who knew that cleaning your toilet would like leave your bathroom smelling like a spa? Like I can't. So Blue Land has a special offer for our listeners right now. Get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/gals. You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/gals for 15% off. One more time, that's blueland.com/gals to get 15% off and treat your cleaning.
Treat it.
So this story is incredible. And I want to start with some notes provided by our stellar researcher, Kathy, who made me burst out laughing at the coffee shop where I was organizing and writing up this case today.
Oh,
Because she will sometimes put in her own little like aside comments on what's happening in the story. And they're so funny. So she wrote at the top, crime stats, perpetrators. Some of the dumbest kids to make it into university, and yet they managed to survive and potentially procreate, all 19 to 20 years old. Method, a comedy of errors. And that sets the tone for one of the most incredible, bungled cases of theft, robbery I have ever heard of.
So is this all just one case, your whole segment?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Yes, and it's a saga. Okay, so we have to travel back in time to 2004 to meet four dumbasses, all alike in dignity, in fair Transylvania University of Lexington, Kentucky, where we lay our scene. I had to know why the fuck there was a Transylvania University in Kentucky. So I looked into it. According to their website, quote, founded in 1780, Transylvania is Kentucky's first and the nation's 16th oldest university. Transylvania's name, meaning across the woods in Latin, stems from the university's founding in the heavily forested region of Western Virginia, known as the Transylvania Colony, which became most of Kentucky in 1792. So, our cast of characters is as follows, and these are their roles in what would be one of the most bungled heists in history. Our victim is Betty Jean, or BJ Gooch.
Stop.
BJ Gooch. Cannot make
not great.
You cannot make this shit up, and BJ Gooch is incredible. Okay, I love her. She is a librarian who was assaulted during this theft, and we'll get to it.
Oh my God.
In the library in question, she was the overseer of their rare books collection, and she had, at the time of this robbery, she had worked there since 1994, fucking putting up with college kid bullshit for a decade by the time this happens. This poor woman.
I can visualize this person.
You don't even have to visualize her because she's on the drive and will be on the blog.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with her, BJ Gooch.
Oh my God.
Spencer Reinhardt, a thief, He is attending Transylvania University on an art scholarship, and his role is to create disguises, draw floor plans and maps, and create false documents.
Oh.
Warren Lipka, thief, was there on a sports scholarship. He had been best friends since about 8 years old with Spencer, and he helped create aliases for the thieves with fictional backgrounds and set up email accounts for those aliases and contacted the library and various auction houses for what their plan was going to be.
Oh my God.
And Eric Borsuk, also a thief. He worked with Warren Lipka in the selling of fake IDs to students on campus.
These shitheads. I would totally have been friends with them, though.
Yeah. He and Warren had a bit of a falling out because $2,000 of Warren Lipka's went missing, quote unquote, from like their portion of the sales for fake IDs. And I think, Warren was like trying to get Eric to pay him that $2,000 back, and Eric didn't have that kind of money. And that's going to get us to kind of where we go next.
Okay.
And finally, Charles, or Chaz Allen, also thief. He was another high school friend of like Spencer's and Warren's. They recruited Chaz because they literally needed a strong man due to the weight of the items they planned on stealing.
Oh
so
my
he's
God.
He's the muscle. He's the muscle. He's like the Emmett character from Twilight. This is his role in the coven. You have to be strong. Along with Eric Borsuk, this guy staked out the library to determine staffing and security. He helped plan the getaway, which means he got a car and planned the route. We'll get to that. And he generally financed the operation. So he made hotel accommodations, which we'll get to, and he purchased snacks for the trip.
That's crucial.
It is crucial.
Yeah.
So these are all the players here.
Okay.
To get everything straight, all these dudes are friends. One has a business issue with the other and owes him a bunch of money. So he recruits a crack team, like, you son of a bitch, I'm in, to steal rare books from the library at their university and to sell them at an auction house in New York City. So this is the plan.
This is a movie, right?
I think they did make a movie out of this, yes.
It's called, like, American Animals or something.
Yes. They did. So, conception of this absolutely perfect idea began as mere musings in January of 2004. But they would decide to pursue the idea in earnest about 6 months later, and the whole debacle would come to fruition on December 17th of 2004. During planning, they divided the tasks based on each individual's unique set of skills. I have a very unique set of skills.
Snack buyer.
To recap. Warren
Alias
Lipka.
Gmail creator.
Oh, you wish it was Gmail, baby. We'll get to it.
Oh, no.
Warren Lipka created aliases, fictional backgrounds, and generally contacted the relevant parties as the alias he creates, which we'll get to. Spencer Reinhardt, disguises. We'll get to the disguises. Floor plans and maps and false documents.
This
Eric,
seems like an RPG.
I know.
Like, this is a campaign.
This is my dream. Eric Borsuk and Chaz Allen. Security and staffing reconnaissance, getaway plan, general funding, strong man, snacks, and hotel rooms.
I hope this was in, like, the official court, like, here is what each of these assholes did.
Oh,
this guy bought
sure
snacks.
it is. I'm sure it is. So they together researched logistics. They looked into the value of rare books. They looked into auction houses. They looked into Swiss bank accounts in case they struck it so rich that they needed to hide all their money.
They're prepared. I like
They're prepared. No, they're so prepared. We'll get to how incredibly prepared they are.
They probably wouldn't have made it on this episode if they were.
Correct.
Yeah.
They determined that the best time for the robbery was December, right before the university's fall term ended and folks were distracted with finals, pending holiday break, and even some people leaving early from school.
Even.
Yeah, even. They also determined that Christie's auction house in New York City was the place to unload the rare books. The books in their line of sight were 7 objects of cultural heritage that had been set out for an upcoming campus tour.
That no one would ever recognize or report as stolen.
Oh, girl. I am not cultured myself, and these book titles, for the most part, mean fuck all to me. However, I recognize that they are culturally significant. There are also beautiful photos of them on the drive. They are stunning works of art. They're also massive, which we'll get to.
They needed the muscle.
These are highly valuable items, and I'm sure this list will impress some of you fucking nerds listening right now. Just don't come for me for not like fangirling, because I've never heard of most of these.
Oh, these are gorgeous.
They're stunning. Hortus Sanitatis. Ortus Sanitatis, circa 1500. 2 volumes with 4 full-page woodcuts and approximately 450 woodcut illustrations in the text. 2. Pencil drawings believed to have been commissioned for The Birds of America 2nd Octavo edition circa 1855. These books are fucking beautiful.
Wow.
There were 20 of 21 available pieces accessible for the heist because one drawing was like on display behind deep lock and key and not with the collection at the time of the robbery, but they were aware of this. A synopsis of The Birds of North America by John James Audubon, 1839, which consists of 8 volumes, mostly unopened, very fucking valuable, and autographed by John James Audubon himself because he had created them as a gift to a friend.
Oh.
There's also an original of On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection by Charles Darwin, 1857. And this is a first edition that had been rebound, so it had been repaired, but it's still a first edition.
Oh.
Illuminated manuscript devotional calendar circa 1425, which consisted of 60 leaves, 1 full-page miniature, and elaborate initials and illuminations throughout. I'm not really sure what that means, but it sounds really impressive. The Birds of North America from original drawings by John James Audubon circa 1838. This is consisting of 4 volumes of elephant folio, like massive full-size drawings in heavy leather-bound folio and 435 hand-colored engraved plates. These weigh hundreds, if not thousands of pounds, like all together.
And, I mean, I don't know a lot about this either, but this sounds valuable as fuck.
Mm-hmm. And The Viviparous Quadrupeds of North America by John James Audubon and John Bachman, circa 1845. This consists of 3 volumes with 150 hand-colored lithograph plates. So this collection is hella fucking valuable. Okay?
And heavy.
And heavy. The star of the show is easily the 4 volumes of Birds of America, which contains, like I said, 4 volumes, each over 3 feet in height.
Oh my God.
And weigh more than 40 pounds each. And for some context into their rarity, Audubon had created about 200 copies of the set, featuring the 435 hand-colored prints, and only 120 sets exist today.
Oh.
Many of them were destroyed. So the set at Transylvania University is worth an estimated $8 to $12 million.
Oh, damn. And that's just one of the sets that you listed.
Yep. Quote, there are very few books in the world that would fetch higher market price than the Audubon's Birds of America, according to rare book expert Rebecca Romney. So this was the target and kind of the catalyst for the entire operation. This kid that's like, oh, I need all this money. And we go to this university that has this library that has these books that are worth possibly $12 million. Let's go fucking steal them.
Yeah.
Which makes what they actually do once they get in there so chaotically stupid that I can't wrap my head around it, but we'll get to it. So it's early December of 2004. Quote unquote, Walter Beckman one of Lipka's alias, had an email exchange with Christie's auction house asking for a meeting in late December, claiming to be in possession of rare books worth millions and seeking a consultation and valuation. When asked, he wrote, quote, what books do you have? And he writes, quote, I have a first edition, which he fucking spells wrong, Addition. Addition, Origin of Species by Charles Darwin, manuscripts that date back to the 1500s, and a collection of John James Audubon's quadrupeds, also spelled wrong. He put 2 Q's in it.
Of all the ways that you could misspell quadrupeds,
It's the extra Q for me.
Oh, Lipka.
I can't. And Birds of America. I know that these books are worth a lot. Lipka, as Walter Beckman, also emailed B.J. Gooch, the special collections librarian at Transylvania, to ask for an appointment to view the library's rare books. So he used the same alias to tell an auction house that he was in possession of these rare books that he wanted to sell and was legally able to sell, as he used to ask to view the rare books. These very same rare books owned by the university. We're off to an incredible start. So December 16th, 2004, it's Thursday at 3:30 p.m. and all 4 of these dudes would arrive at the library dressed up as old men.
Oh, that was their disguise?
Well, yep, which included stage makeup, wigs, hats, and costumes such as you would see in a theatrical performance. I'm like thinking back to all of our costumes for Brigadoon.
Yeah.
Like, that's what these 4 idiots looked like.
They smell fucking musty.
Yep.
They're probably not believable at all.
Well,
as like actual clothes.
Girl, spot on. They would quickly abort this plan because they were drawing so much attention because they looked absurd. Quote, we weren't invisible. It was the opposite, Eric Borsuk said. We were like the center of attention. I can only imagine what these costumes looked like. And I love that these 4 19 to 20-year-old, mostly grown man boys got in these costumes, looked at each other and were like, yup, we look great. We are nailing this. Like, we're gonna pull this off.
Do this.
Let's fucking go. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Let's fucking go. These costumes were so bad that members of the library staff very much did notice them, but assumed they were simply part of a college prank.
Oh my God.
Quote, we thought it was theater students fooling around, BJ Gooch said. So with the first crack at the plan fully aborted, the group would once again email librarian BJ Gooch stating, oh my gosh, we couldn't make it to the original appointment because we got called away on business. Can we reschedule for tomorrow, December 17th at the same time?
So they fully got into the library. And that's when they backed out, like,
correct.
Oh my God.
They decided to come back the next day, which also coincided with the last day of the semester before winter break. So they come back the next day, 3:30 p.m. Lipka, as Walter Beckman, his alias, arrives for the appointment. He's still drawing notice because of his unseasonably heavy coat, gloves, and hat. It was about 45 degrees at the time, and he was like bulked up with a really big coat. Lipka relays intel to Eric Borsuk that the elevator, like the service elevator, was on and working and that there were no cameras in the library. He then asked BJ Gooch, I will never stop loving this woman's name, if a friend could join them last minute for the tour, and she agreed. Lipka made a cell phone call, and within about a minute, Eric Borsuk arrived, also wearing a heavy coat with a bandage on his face and eyeglasses, introducing himself as John. It's giving John Doe. It's giving Robert Durst stealing the sandwich from Wegmans with a Band-Aid on his lip.
A bandage on his face.
I can't.
God.
So, the dude signed in for the tour just illegibly. Just like scribble. Don't do it again. Stop! And we're taken to the Special Collections Library. Once inside, this is where I get pissed. Once inside, they fucking attack BJ Gooch.
No.
How fucking dare you little fucking pubes?
She's an elderly woman.
She was said elderly, but like,
oh
yeah, she's like a middle-aged woman at this time.
Don't
and
touch
also,
Gooch.
Don't touch Gooch. Hands off my Gooch.
Loot corpse. Do not touch Gooch.
Loot corpse. Loot the corpse. So they wrestled this poor woman to the ground and began zapping her in the arm with a pen-type stun gun, which we'll get to. Fortunately, she reported that this caused some tingling but no real pain, and we'll get to why that was, because that's also fucking relevant here. But still, this must have been fucking terrifying, and she screamed in the hopes of being heard and rescued, and was unnerved when this stranger used her first name, like her nickname, like BJ. Yep.
Oh, man.
If you just keep on struggling, it will only hurt more. Do you want it to hurt more? So she submitted, and the two men bound her hands and feet with plastic zip ties. They also removed her glasses and covered her eyes with a stocking cap, like a beanie hat. In her own retelling of the ordeal, she said that she was showing them the Optus Sanitatis volumes when, quote, suddenly I'm in mid-sentence and Lipka says to Borsuk, grab her hands, and he's pushing the stun gun into my left arm. I'm trying to process what's happening. I realize they're robbing us, and I'm so shocked by that. And I think I even screamed once, but I realized no one could hear me. I fall to the ground, and they lay me on my stomach. They bound my hands and feet. They put Lipka's hat over my eyes and tried to put duct tape on my mouth. I was scared. I was not going to be able to breathe. I was also terrified I was going to have a heart attack. I have a family history, and I'd been under so much stress. I just remember thinking, I have to calm myself down. I just have to get through this.
Gosh.
Yeah. So that would have been undeniably terrifying. And like the rest of this story is quite funny, and these guys are assholes and idiots, but that is really fucked up and really scary for her to go through.
They frightened Gooch. I'm not on board.
Not on board. So with the librarian subdued, the pair began collecting the objects of cultural heritage that had been set out for their appointment. In order for them to carry all of the objects, which they knew would be large and heavy, because like as a freshman art student, Spencer Reinhardt had been on this tour before. He's seen these books up close in person. He would have known and should have fucking told the group that they're massive. But we've already established many times that these fucking turds are fucking idiots. So like,
their
what
size
do you expect?
is like the main characteristic about these books.
It's wild. So they brought with them a big pink bed sheet to lay on the floor and put the big giant books on the bed sheet and then drag them or carry them over their shoulder with the bed sheet.
Yeah, like Santa.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I understand the logic, but so they lay out this big pink bed sheet. They start to put the books on it and use backpacks for the smaller books. And even with their planning, things were way too heavy for them. They abandoned 2 out of the 4 Birds of North America volumes because of their weight, and 1 of the 3 Quadrupeds of North America for being stuck in a drawer.
Quadrupeds.
Quadrupeds. So, okay, we have to recall that the set of 4 Birds of North America volumes were the ones valued between $8 and $12 million.
Yeah.
But only if they're together.
Right, it's a set. Oh,
and
my
was
God.
the reason they were doing this in the first place. And these fucking idiots split them up. So they start to make their way out of the remaining 2. They start to make their way out of the building, and they end up having to ditch the remaining 2 volumes because of their weight, and we'll also get to why.
So they left with nothing.
We'll see what they left with, but the volumes they came for, they couldn't even fucking carry. Like, their strongman was not up for it. They couldn't do it. Things only get predictably worse as they try to get away. They had planned to take the employee-only, like, service elevator to the first floor and escape. through an emergency exit where Chaz Allen, would be waiting with the getaway car because he's the getaway guy. But they had trouble operating the elevator.
Oh,
and
my God.
Instead of pushing the first floor button, they pushed basement. They didn't know what button to push to go up. They didn't understand the layout of the floors of the building. They didn't plan this for literal months.
It was daytime. They didn't think that robberies could happen in the daytime.
How did these boys get into college? I can't. In the basement, they encountered head librarian and badass bitch Susan Brown, who saw non-employees in an employee-only elevator holding the library's most valuable books. And they managed to get the doors closed and operating again before she's like sprinted toward the elevator. And they're like doe-eyed and sweating and smashing the door close button.
Door close.
While Susan's running at them, and it closes just before she could get to it. So she sprints up the stairs to the special collections department to find BJ Gooch.
Oh, God, BJ.
Who had partially freed herself and was yelling that they were being robbed. And so Susan Brown turns and runs out to go after them.
Oh, my God. These librarians are...
They're not fucking around.
Amazing.
She catches up with these two dudes as they're attempting to open the emergency exit. Surprised at her arrival and aggressive confrontation, this is when they dropped several objects, including the remaining volumes of Birds of North America, with the other two still down in the basement on a pink bedsheet. and the 2 volumes of quadrupeds that they had nabbed. They had dwindled their haul down to about $750,000 in rare books, which obviously is not bad. That's a pretty good haul. But they had already told the fucking auction house that they had all these volumes.
Yeah.
That they literally couldn't carry out of the building. Like, I'm fucking dying. This cannot be real. The pair were able to flee in a waiting van that Chaz Allen, their getaway guy, had literally borrowed from his mom. Borrowed his mom's minivan for their getaway. They had made it out with only 5 objects, Hortus Sanitatis, the 20 pencil drawings, synopsis of the Birds of North America, origin of species, and illuminated manuscript. Susan Brown and a small army of librarians are still in hot pursuit as they're getting into the car. And Susan Brown was so hot on their trail that she managed to key the minivan in hopes of being able to identify it later.
Oh my God. And it was a minivan. Oh my
This
God.
brilliant bitch. I fucking love these librarians so much. There's just like, they're like a zombie horde.
Totally.
Scratching at this van to get their DNA on it so they can find these fucks. The feds can find these fucks. I just am so obsessed with them.
I love it.
As the van pulled away, Lipka leaned out the side passenger window and threw up. I can't. Fucking threw up.
That would be me.
Oh, yeah.
That was me at Ridgedale waiting for my dad to pick us up with the silk pajamas.
Yourself. Tag yourself with the silk pajamas in my bag. Chaz Allen then let Lipka and Borsuk out several blocks away and returned the van to his mommy. Then came back in a different car to pick the guys up. The 3 of them then hid the stolen objects in a semi-hidden room in their house.
What's a semi-hidden room?
I'll explain. The entrance to this room that they chose to hide the books in was disguised because they also grew weed in there. These fucking guys. Yeah,
Zero notes. I have no notes.
It's cool, dude. Hide them in the grow room. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, on the one hand, if they're growing right, then the humidity is balanced in that grow room.
You don't want any humidity where you put your rare books.
Well, oh yeah, that's true. It makes it worse.
Makes it worse.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. Either way, it's cool, guys. Hide them in the weed room. They disposed of all of their robbery paraphernalia in a nearby dumpster.
Their gloves,
their
the eye patch,
their bandage on their face. And then Spencer Reinhardt, who was still finishing up the semester, went and took a final exam. So to recap, their months of planning and surveillance resulted in the grand plan of show up, ask for a tour, grab, run. Their first costumed attempt was so ludicrous they had to literally leave. When they did get into the room, they used a stun pen that claimed to carry 150,000 volts.
Okay.
Which, if I'm understanding correctly, police tasers have about 50,000 volts. So.
Yeah.
But these were the size of a pen powered by 2 AAA batteries.
The pussiest of all batteries.
So BJ Gooch is like, yeah, it like buzzed on my arm, but it didn't hurt. And they like bound me up. Like, what the fuck?
2 AAAs.
The power of 2 AAAs. Then they chose to abandon half the set of the most valuable books, the books that inspired the theft, and then dropped the remaining 2 while fleeing. They failed at operating an elevator, first going down to the basement instead of the first floor and encountering the head librarian. They got stuck at the emergency exit, escaped only a half step before the head librarian could reach them, dropped more books in the process, and left with about 750,000 of their potential 12 million in loot.
That's definitely gonna be discovered.
Yep.
That you called Christie's ahead of time about.
To tell them you already had. After successfully, kinda, I guess, getting items from the library, they entered phase 2 of their plan.
Open a Swiss bank account.
No, unload the goods.
Oh, okay.
So they all told their parents they were going on a ski trip over Christmas break. And the 4 guys actually drove to New York City to keep their appointments with Christie's auction house to have their objects appraised. On December 21st, 2004, Lipka as Mr. Stevens and Reinhardt as Mr. Williams claimed to be representatives of Walter Beckman, a man they described as very private individual. When the Christie's representative agreed that they could sell the objects for Mr. Beckman, Reinhardt gave this sales rep his actual phone number, and the 4 returned home. And honestly, the mere fact that they got all the way to this stage is super hard for me to believe, given how badly they have executed every level of this plan. But yeah. So meanwhile, in the aftermath of the library theft, the librarians had called the police and authorities were already investigating the emails that had occurred between quote unquote Walter Beckman and Mrs. Gooch. So they searched Yahoo records. We're using a Yahoo account.
Oh my God.
To reveal the series of emails between Beckman and Christie's auction house, because as we recall, the dumbass used the same email and alias to both steal and sell rare books. Police contacted Christie's, who gave them the phone number that Reinhardt had given him, his phone number. Police linked that number to an account that Reinhardt's father owned, like probably a family cell phone plan.
Yeah.
And determined that Reinhardt was the primary user of that number. Also, Spencer Reinhardt's voicemail still said, "This is Spence, leave a message." So he didn't even change it to something generic in anticipation of Christie's calling him. You guys, I give up. I can't. So, surprise, there's enough evidence to get a warrant, recover everything, and charge these fucking guys. Surprise. It's February 11th, they execute the warrant. They're charged. April 21st, 2005, all 4 of these guys plead guilty to all counts against them, and they are each sentenced to 7 years in prison. Though they pled guilty, not that it was like really a question, considering the evidence, like good luck, they certainly didn't seem remorseful for their actions. Their defense leaned into their sudden need for money, and But they also bolstered it with the fact that one of the boys had parents going through a divorce.
Oh,
and he's in his 20s and doesn't live at home, so this must be really hard for him. And that they all were seeking a bit of excitement as a departure from their safe, suburban, upper-middle-class lives. Feel bad for these boys.
It's affluenza.
Affluenza, exactly. Eric Borsuk reiterated this, saying, quote, just seeing that lifestyle there, I think was like a big turnoff for me. I just had no sense of identity growing up. I just felt very lost. We thought that the money would give us the resources to do whatever we wanted with our life. And I just knew that I had to like be a part of this, even though your mind should obviously say the opposite. We did the robbery as a way to escape. I think we all knew that we wanted something different, and we had to break away from where we were living. If we got away with it, we'd be in Europe living this crazy life.
Yeah.
Thinking we were Ocean's 11 types, you know? If not, we were going to get caught, and it was going to be a crazy story.
Oh, my God.
That's a quote!
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So what became of these boys, you ask? CNBC has the answer. In December 2005, this quote, a year after the heist, the four men were each sentenced to identical 87-month prison sentences. They were all released in 2012. Reinhardt is now a working artist who painted a movie poster for that American Animals movie, in which both he and Lipka appeared as themselves. Lipka graduated from Temple University in 2018 with a master's degree in film studies. His LinkedIn bio describes him as a writer, storyteller, and prison reform advocate, which I hope is true.
Okay.
Alan, who describes himself as an author, screenwriter, and transformation coach on Twitter.
Transformation coach.
I want that gig. Has penned multiple autobiographical books about his role in the heist and his time in prison. Borsuk, also an author, wrote the 2018 book American Animals, a true crime memoir, which was made into the American Animals movie. Borsuk notes that, quote, he had 7 years in prison to reflect on what he calls a horrible experience that just changed my life completely. Still, he says, he isn't sure he'd change the past even if he could. Quote, it's a weird question to answer, he says, because at the end of the day, it's made me who I am, and it's made me a better person.
A better person.
And that is my case.
Jesus Christ. The guy throwing up out the window of the minivan is definitely my favorite part.
I love that part so much. He's so upset.
I know. Well, he just
Poor
outran
puppy.
a horde of librarians.
Oh, yeah.
That would get anyone's heart racing.
Straight up. It would not be good, dude.
It would not.
Not be good. No.
Wow, that was excellent.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Good job. Well,
Thank you.
special thanks to us. And special you're welcome to you. Because we're taking a break from the hideousness of the last few episodes.
Yeah, they've been rough. But this was a balm for the soul, babes.
It really was. Well, thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Danielle Sylvan. Music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell. Editing by Jonathan Camp. Our production manager is Andrea Gardner. For photos and sources, check out our blog at wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can follow us on all the socials at Wine and Crime Pod. If you have questions, answers, or recommendations to share, email us at wineandcrimepodcast@gmail.com. Episodes are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. It is the best way to spread the word. If you'd like to show your support and get access to all sorts of wine-fueled bonus content, visit our Patreon page. Cheers!
Say goodbye to your credit card rewards. Greedy corporate mega stores, led by Walmart and Target, are pushing for a law in Congress to take away your hard-earned cash back and travel points to line their pockets. The Durbin-Marshall credit card bill would enact harmful credit card routing mandates that would end credit card rewards as we know it. If you love your credit card rewards, tell your lawmakers, hands off my rewards. Tell them to oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill.